Mendoza, Mike Roberts, Mike Stevens, our officials tonight. SMU in the home whites, Memphis in their traveling blues, and we are set for the opening tip. And underway as the Tigers win it. Powell into the backcourt, and here we go. Memphis and SMU in conference play. This home court has been a great advantage for SMU, and so far they are 9-1 at home. Very, very tough to beat here at Moody. Nichols has it batted away right to Powell. Memphis coming in at 8-5, SMU at 10-4. Recently they ripped off 8 consecutive wins before falling to Cincinnati. Hawkins trying to bounce it down low for Nichols. That one's stolen away. Well,
first sequence has been a very solid one for Moreira on the defensive end. He's got the assignment to deal with Nichols. He does a good job first possession.
Frazier looking to go over the top from under the weather. The 74-year-old head coach didn't make it to their practice earlier today.
Correct. Tim Jankovic, the associate head coach, instead ran through every set that Memphis had. Talked a lot about both sides of the floor. They talked an awful lot at practice about the catches of Austin Nichols and trying to prevent those touches as much as possible. And look at Moreira doing a terrific job. And if you get Austin Nichols to catch it here, you're in good shape.
Way away from the basket with 9 on the shot clock. Nichols trying to make a move, bottled up again, slapped away from him. He scraps for it, and it'll go the other way. This is the 9th time that he's facing a Hall of Fame head coach, and so far he's done pretty well. He's 4-4.
Now this year has been a bit of a struggle on the offensive end. They can get stagnant, it can look ugly, it can look out of rhythm. And through the first 2 possessions, Dave, SMU, the intensity level high, and they're following their scout.
Up high on the wing, Frazier. Here's Moore. Ben Moore and Nick Moore both in the starting lineup for the Mustangs. Moreira with a jump shot. No, nice pass underneath. Great look and a foul.
That was giving up a good shot for a great shot.
Moore at 6'8", a sophomore out of Bolingbrook, Illinois, and misfiring on the first one. The students are not back here yet to the campus in Dallas, but they have drawn a pretty good crowd here this evening, and they regularly sell out here. As Moore knocks it down to make it 1-0.
To me, it's a terrific venue for college basketball. Recently renovated, good size, you're right on top of the floor.
Got a little more than 7,000, and they jam it in. Powell on the drive, has to dish underneath. There's Goodwin, got it up off the window for 2.
And that's where Shaq Goodwin is at his best, right around the rim. He's got to be active, energetic.
But you'd have to say the first part of the season for him has been sluggish, averaging just 9 points and 7 rebounds. They were expecting a lot more out of him. Moore gives it up. Frazier, nice dish, and Moreira will finish that with a 2-handed slam.
A terrific job. Anytime you get dribble penetration that deep into the heart of the defense, you force the help up, and it makes an easy opportunity for someone.
Powell has set it up now for Memphis. A recent loss to Tulane. And a foul here on Moreira. An SMU tangling in Dallas. Well, Rich, thank you very much. We welcome you to Dallas. That's Pookie Powell down the lane for the Memphis Tigers. It's our Thursday night showcase. Memphis taking on SMU. Dave O'Brien and Doris Burke. And SMU with a basketball. Ben Moore foul.
Game winning streak. They beat Kansas back on December 22nd. They've got a trio of dangerous guards. They're out 3-0 in the conference, including an overtime win at Connecticut. That was impressive. Starting to get some run in the national polls. Fran Dunphy's team.
Well, this SMU team was in the top 25, and that had a bit of a losing skid back in November. Very challenging schedule. They lost to Gonzaga, Indiana, and Arkansas. They dropped out of the top 25. Might we see them get back in sometime soon?
I think Marcus Kennedy was a key absence. He was out the first semester with an academic issue, and so he has got to find his rhythm. Nice little drive. Markel
Crawford, the freshman, whose play has been up and down. It can be said of more than one Memphis Tigers so far. They're 8-5. And a tough loss to Tulane. They've also lost to Wichita State, Oklahoma State, Baylor, and Stephen F. Austin. And for that very, very demanding basketball populace in Memphis, that's too many losses early on for them. They're not used to that.
Well, since John Calipari took over.
Frazier knocking Knocking down a long three. That's Keith Frazier at 37% out there.
And one thing you know on the scout about Frazier, he's got range. I mean, if he's 2 steps beyond the arc, you've got a hand up in his face because he can drill it from distance. But you're right. I mean, this is a Memphis team that John Calipari raised the level of expectation in the program. Josh Pastner has won an average of 26 games through his first 5 years. But boy, you lose in Memphis, it's DEFCON 4.
Well, not because of the play of Austin Nichols, a 6'8" sophomore, just missed that shot. He's coming off 28 points against Tulane in a loss, but he made 13 shots. Morera off target. Big rebound by Moore underneath. He can't get it to go. He wins it back. Can't stick that. Well, they had plenty of chances.
Boy, Moore athletically is going to jump over a lot of people. You have got to find his body and get into him on the offensive glass.
Crawford, for a freshman, certainly showing some patience there. His last year, Memphis 24-10, went 12-6 in the American, and they would lose in the 3rd round of the NCAA tournament. Right now, it's a battle to be getting back to the tournament. Strong move by Goodwin. He's denied. Right back up again, Morera. Elena, he's also been inconsistent. He's had some sluggish performances. 4 points against Houston. He did not score in their loss at home against Oklahoma State. So really up and down. And this is a guy they are relying on as much as anybody.
Yeah, 4 points and 6 rebounds against Wichita State. In particular, against high-level competition, when there's youth at every other position, there's got to be stability and strength from Nichols and Goodwin.
He gets the roll, good touch there. He's a 73% foul shooter. Kennedy, by the way, on the floor for SMU. That'll make Larry Brown feel a little bit better. Larry was under the weather today, did not make it to his team's practice. He has been fighting a bit of the flu. Here's Manuel at the top of the key. Off for Frazier, who just hit a 3-pointer from way downtown moments ago. Able to slam on the brakes. Got the shot up. I don't know how he hit it, but he did.
Boy, that's a difficult shot. Contrasting styles. You've got a Memphis team that leads the league in field goal percentage defense against an SMU team that actually leads the league in field goal percentage. So what gives tonight?
Memphis with a lot of shooting issues. Just 44% from the field, 34% from 3. Powell trying to dish. Very heavy traffic here. Nichols can't find the range there.
He will not lack for company on the interior.
He's a guy who can use both hands. Moore will fire, a bit too long. Rebound tipped by Ben Moore after Nick Moore had tried the long one. Nick Moore hits 45% beyond that line. He's one of the great shooters in the conference.
Yeah, they have actually at their practice today, Memphis talked about trying to get him to go north, meaning away from the rim.
Manuel, oh, it's nifty pass there and a foul on the... Woodson with the foul. Moore back to the line. He's been pretty reliable this season. It's his 3rd trip to the line tonight, so he's getting there. He's hitting 69%.
It's a dangerous thing if you allow an entry pass into the elbow, particularly for somebody who's got good touch as a passer.
Off target on the second one. So SMU with a 6-point lead coming up on the 14-minute mark here in the first half. SMU recently held by Cincinnati to just 50 points. And a very ragged effort that ended that 8-game winning streak for the Mustangs. Woodson will back it out. He's also very dangerous beyond the 3-point line. Back off here for Cunningham. 8 on the shot clock for the Tigers. Cunningham to try and penetrate. The fall away. He sticks it.
See, when Morera was the guy who was the help defender in that pick and roll, he's so long and active, you could see that in that instance, Kennedy not the defender in the pick and roll that Morera is. At least not yet.
Kennedy facing up on Nichols. That's a pretty good matchup there. As the big fella gets in the lane, it won't drop for him. Crawford picking the rebound, and here come the Tigers. Woodson back out top. 13 minutes to go here in the opening half in Dallas, and everyone's talking about the National Football Championship game coming up next Monday. And you see billboards everywhere and signs everywhere.
Between them and the Cowboys, and already crazy football state is in serious celebration mode.
Even nuttier. Shot clock at 5. Cunningham with a crossover. The one-hander, that misses.
Boy, how many times through the first 7+ minutes have we seen Memphis have to back it out and start their offense at about 35 feet with under 10 ticks on the clock.
Frazier fires off the front of the iron. Big scrap for the rebound. Taken away by Kennedy. The crowd loved that. But a tie-up.
North Carolina losing that tough home game against Virginia. They were in it down to the wire.
Moore has it knocked away right to Kennedy, though. And the Mustangs will set it up, leading 11-7 here inside the American Conference tonight. Morera trying to get up against Goodwin here. Almost lost the handle. They got to go.
Yeah, great job getting it back. Excuse me, they lost that tough home game to Notre Dame. Carolina did.
Kennedy picks it on the baseline. Well, he's very active. Morera shovels the pass here, and it's going to be off target by Sterling Brown. Got a great look. Morera with a miss, too. SMU's getting some great opportunities underneath.
They sure are.
That's going to be a blocking foul.
And as you say, between the Memphis Grizzlies and the University of Memphis, that is a very well-educated basketball city. And so you wonder about any momentum against Josh Pastner in terms of his ability, because this could be a struggle. And this, with all the young guys they've got, Dave, this could be a long season at times.
And tonight could be a real struggle for him, no question about it. Nice drive and an easy two there. The Memphis Tigers able to show off some quickness there. With the basket by Cunningham, 13-9. Now, we love going into Memphis.
Yeah, I love it.
And a lot of it has to do with exactly what you're talking about. There's such great passion for basketball in that town. And for barbecue, by the way. Powell on a nifty drive, but that won't drop for him. Goodwin had the rebound stripped away. In transition now. Moore trying to get it underneath and really targeting the big
guard. Turnovers have been an issue that you come with strength from the head coaching position. And obviously they have had some difficulties. Karan Iverson suspended for 2 games. He retweets a tweet about Josh and his coaching style. And to me, though Josh would not say this today, I don't see how Karan Iverson continues to play in the Memphis program.
Second time he's been suspended.
Yeah, not the first time the young man has been suspended, so I just don't see it. Be very difficult for Josh with the other guys to allow him back into your program after that kind of incident.
Nichols strong with the left hand and a nice touch.
Boy, what an extraordinary leap this guy has made, especially on the defensive end.
Well, he's the premier shot blocker in the conference. He's #1 in block shots in the American Athletic.
3.5 per game, 46 blocks, and this was a guy who was a defensive liability a season ago.
Leading anyone from UConn in that category. Look at Kennedy with a strong move and a stuff.
Boy, there have been some times through this first 10 minutes where he is starting to take shape. It looks like he is getting back into form.
You can see why Larry Brown has called him the most talented player on his team. And if he does get himself fit, straight away that jumper won't drop off the back of the iron and hauled in by Morera. You could see where he could be an absolute terror in this league. Here he is again off the fake, and 2 more.
Just a terrific shot.
Total of 19 points and 18 rebounds in 4 games.
Well, Larry Brown has teased him, saying, you know, if you bring a level of consistency and play as hard as you possibly can, you've got enough talent to play at the next level and leave after this year. But I'm not sure that the ticker and the motor is high enough yet, Dave, that he can do that. Active Hall of Fame coaches in the country. The other 4 are all in the ACC.
On the baseline, Crawford. That rolls away, but a tip up and in. They're going to get Godfrey with that basket as he was on top of the iron to make it 18-13. Approaching 9 minutes to go here in the first half. Brown, nifty dish for Kennedy. He draws the double team. Back outside for Nick Moore, who can really light it up. That leaner won't drop. The tip by Morera won't fall.
They're dominating the offensive glass. They're just not getting second chance points off their work on the boards.
So Memphis able to hang in largely because of that, at least to this point. Crawford turning around, getting a play from Josh Pastner.
6-1 on the offensive glass thus far.
Godfrey tangled up and foul. Well, he commits the foul on the read.
But in this conference, you're going to have to be terrific at home, try to win some on the road. But what do you think, like 23, 24 wins at least? Because the non-conference overall for the American was not stellar. Obviously, Temple beating Kansas was one big notch. Cincinnati knocking off San Diego State, another one.
Manuel's pass picked off down in the corner. And a good read by Pookie Powell, who tries to go into that corner for himself. There's Crawford to launch and can't hit it. Goodwin battling everyone for the rebound and wins it back, and a new shot clock here for the Tigers. When you talk about how many will it take to get into the NCAA tournament, SMU won 27 games last year. Eventually, in the NIT tournament, they compiled 27. They didn't go to the NCAA tournament.
Correct. They lost 3 straight games, including a brutal loss against Houston, a blowout loss at the American in the quarterfinals, and that last 3 games sealed the deal.
Herrera with a hard drive to his right.
See, now, I asked Tim Jankovic, the associate head coach, are they at all surprised at how good this guy has been? And the answer was no. I mean, they just felt like the injury a season ago to his knee really prohibited everybody from seeing the kind of talent that young man had.
Nearly 7 feet, 6'11".
How about the activity in the pick and roll? NBA guys love that. At his size, to be able to try and stay in front.
Powell tried it off the window. That won't fall. Herrera's there for the rebound. He's been cleaning the glass here in the first half of the Mustangs. These two teams split their games last year, each winning on the home floor. Brown to kick out for Cunningham. Long one. He can't stick it. So Memphis trailing by 7 here on the road. Crawford swings it up top, and now Powell will set it up. Powell's coming off 9 assists against Tulane, but he also turned it over a lot.
Yeah, 7 turnovers.
Powell feeding Godfrey, the 6'8" senior. The hook won't drop. Herrera, another rebound. He's going to have a lot of them by halftime at this pace.
Played all summer, Herrera, with the Angolan national team. It's just great experience. When you can be in competitive basketball all summer, it just keeps you so sharp.
He's had a handful of excellent games, 15 and 13 against Wyoming, as that one is dropped down. Melliger, the 6'6" senior, opens up the lead, the biggest of the half now for SMU. 22-13. Passer's going to get 3 fresh bodies in. This is an 8-2 run now for the Mustangs. Powell trying to make a move. He's held up traditionally in China and make a lot of money, but not come to the SMU campus and play collegiately.
There was a shockingly large amount of money, $1.2 million, that probably influenced his decision. But how about this quote by Larry Brown, which really surprised me? This was before the season. He said, if we had Emmanuel Mudiay, I think the team could have won a national championship. Wow. There's no doubt in my mind.
How about that? So with all the bigs who are playing this well, and with a point guard at that talent level, the SMU is really beating up Memphis from the front court, outscoring their front court 15-5. Stolen away by Cunningham.
And Nick Moore is on Marcus Kennedy for that turnover, saying Marcus should have taken a step toward the ball, but he wasn't ever making a move. I don't see how Nick Moore, whether Marcus should have been there or not, that pass shouldn't have been made.
Now Shaq Goodwin with a basket. And the 6'9" junior tightens it up a bit, 22-15 SMU. Here's Kennedy on the high post, draws a lot of attention. At the foul line, Nichols out on him. Kennedy puts it to the deck, into the corner. Looks like he wants to go one-on-one. The jumper, yes.
So, how much have we seen from that guy? The drive from 17 feet and that mid-range jumper just getting away from Nichols with a little separation dribble.
Cunningham tried to split the defense. Kennedy had it stripped away. Cunningham wanted it back. He wanted nothing to do with the big fella. Nichols gets a clean look, but he can't stick it. And Cunningham fighting for the rebound, wins it back for the Mustangs. Melliger got it inside, and he's just too strong. Kennedy with 2 more.
That's just coming too easy. I mean, this is a Memphis team that is not good enough on the offensive end to not grind and not make things tough. Right now, entry passes to the post, too easy. Entry pass to the elbow, too easy right now.
Nichols from the double. Jump shot by Woodson. That's an easy shot for him as he sticks the 3. Memphis with their first triple tonight.
You know, sometimes there are big baskets in the first half. That was a big basket for Memphis.
It was starting to get away. Under 3.5. Hook pass under for Kennedy. He made the shot.
Yeah, that's a tough look. And again, see, to me, he's going to get more explosive the more rhythm he gets, the more game conditioned he gets.
Cunningham jumping in, long one, Crawford. Yes, another three. And now suddenly the Tigers are starting to heat up a little bit. That is not their forte. Only 34% as a team beyond the three-point line, but back-to-back threes.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be jawing down 7. Crawford turned and looked at the SMU bench and kind of made a signal. You're down 7, fella.
Not the way Marcus Kennedy's feeling. Here's more, a tip shot. Kennedy gets it. Meligu from the corner. Now Woodson corrals it. Now suddenly it's the Tigers who have some momentum. Woodson can't get off the shot. 7-point lead for the Mustangs. Under 2.5 before the break. Kastner calling for his guard to set up a play here. 14 on the shot clock for Memphis. Goodwin up to set the screen. Shot clock at 7. Cunningham gets his shot, but can't drill it.
You see the coaching Josh Pastner is doing from the side. He's calling every play, trying to make sure they're on point. And again, another easy opportunity
this season.
A 16-10 advantage in the paint, but much of that Marcus Kennedy advantage.
So the lead up to 9 for the Mustangs. Nichols rolling hard to the baseline. Stripped away from Woodson. A battle for that. Moore goes for it. It's out of play.
To me, Dave, the size of it for college basketball in this day and age, the layout of it, there are some luxury suites up at the top. This is a fantastic college basketball building.
We are very close to the floor. You and I feel like we're in the action, actually. Your rebounding in particular has been stunning.
I can be dominant from this close.
That's going to be a goaltending on Austin.
Find his rhythm, because the coaches, everybody in the league expects him to be a first-team performer. Keep in mind, the final 2 weeks of that first semester, he didn't practice, and there were pockets where he didn't practice because he was focusing on his academics. He needs to get up to speed, and it looks like he is.
Certainly does tonight. The jumper won't fall for Crawford. Rebound picked by Frazier. Mustangs trying to push the tempo. So far, Nick Moore has not been a big factor, coming averaging about 15 a game, but it's been Kennedy's show. And he has the ball again. Up against Godfrey, body to body. Got a little too creative with that pass and turned it over. So 42 seconds before the break. And Larry Brown, who did not feel well earlier today, has to feel pretty darn good the way his team has played so far against a conference rival.
Nice to have a guy like Tim Jankovic, though, on your staff who you trust implicitly. I was talking to Doug Collins earlier today. He is a big Jankovic fan. Of course, Tim was at Illinois State.
People rave about him. Shot clock down to 4. Powell has it knocked away by Frazier. Time to get a shot. Oh, there's Nichols coming out of nowhere.
I'm just going to say, he loves the gym. I would think he hated missing shooter out because practice is his element.
Frazier's jumper. Yes, he sticks that right before the half. And that's the season. Memphis trying to go to 9-5.
And you touched on this in the first half. This is a Memphis team that you want to stay right here. You don't want this deficit to get any bigger. This is not a prolific three-point shooting team. So getting on a roll consistently from deep would be an issue.
Woodson, the man with the ball here, could help. An excellent three-point shooter. Powell will now set up a play. Opening seconds of the second half. Powell gave up the dribble and a traveling violation. Buki Powell gives
his feet, and those are the kinds of plays that you're going to have to live with if you're Josh Pastner with such a young guy in that position.
Memphis Tiger fans would rather not live with mistakes out of the point guard spot. They're not used to that. Manuel turns, attacks. Oh, the block, but also a foul by Nichols.
Obviously, you put the guy, Morera, at the free throw line.
And only 66%, and that's why. How do you like that rule? It's a long-standing rule in basketball, of course, but do you like it? You like?
Well, it's obviously so to prevent the okey doke, right? It's so that a coach
the
can't
phony
say
injury,
that's correct, the phony injury.
It makes 1 of 2. 35-21.
Nobody wants to be okey doked.
No. Goes for you and I both, too. When you look at the free throws, 6 out of 10 for SMU. Memphis has only shot 2 tonight.
Look at the job Moreira is doing on Austin Nichols. He is battling. He's got the length to deny. Just get a hand in the passing lane and discourage it.
He's also quick. Very quick on his feet.
He's at 6'11". His size, 220 pounds. His lateral quickness is terrific.
Jump shot deep in the corner. That won't drop for Woodson. So the lead at 14 here for SMU.
It's going to be hard for Memphis to win this game if they can't get Austin Nichols started on the offensive end.
Ben Moore follows his own miss. Loose on the deck. And a timeout. SMU will take it.
That's a case in point.
And you wonder about the puzzling season Shaq Goodwin has had, why his numbers have declined. You can't put all the blame on number 2.
That is correct. The guards have got to be able to deliver the ball into the post. The coaching staff has got to be able to be creative enough to try to put these guys in positions. You know, we talked to Josh. He's like, listen, no question. We want to get Austin Nichols the ball as much as possible.
Ball with the alley-oop and stuffed in. Moreira.
I'll tell you one thing we haven't seen from Nick Moore is any impatience whatsoever, right? I mean, this is a guy accustomed to scoring double digits. He's let the game come to him. He's content tonight setting up his teammates.
Junior out of Indiana had a 25-point game against Wyoming. He's had some really nice scoring games, you're right. Nichols draws the double team. He's going to force the shot and take it away by SMU. So maybe a little frustration.
I don't mind the shot. I agree. And there's Nick Moore. See, he was content to set his guys. Now he shows you the execution and timing of the play was not great. That's something Carolina can learn from. Rick Pitino didn't seem especially happy off his team's win, saying that we're going to hit some bumps in the road, but as long as we're good come March, which his teams traditionally have. But how about the pace of that game, possibly?
Memphis 8 consecutive empty possessions and a block, and now they get a basket.
Delivered on time and on target. It's led him right to the rim. That was nicely done.
Goaltending on Moreira, 39-23. We'll see if Nick Moore starts to get going underneath, and a nicely centered pass there for Ben Moore for the 2 points. So a quick strike for the Mustangs. Cunningham trying to create, draws the foul.
That reach and slap from the perimeter, that will not help your teammate, Dave.
Second foul on Nick Moore. And Cunningham completes the 3-point play. So we'll see when Coach Brown elects to bring number 5 back on. Moreira dunking it down low. The pass slapped away from Moore. Loose ball, and it's going to stay on.
You like the team-first attitude because I do think passing can be contagious.
Especially for a guy 6'11".
Yeah, no question.
Who could look over the top of everybody in the building, virtually. One-hander by Moore, tipped away. Nichols has it. Up ahead for Crawford, he'll drive it, and tipped up and in. Nice follow there by Hawkins.
It's just tremendous athleticism. Nice job to keep working. Never assume that first shot is going down.
Now a whistle here, well away from the basketball.
I think there's some blood on.
Go-to man certainly for Josh Pastner tonight and the rest of the season. Nichols patched up. Nick Moore on the wing. Manuel. Frazier will shoot the jumper off the front of the iron. It's tipped to Hawkins. Cunningham trying to make a stutter step move and deflected out of play.
Grand Prairie, Texas. He's the transfer from Virginia Tech that had to come home because of an ill grandmother. But when Larry Brown first got here, he talked to Emelagu's head coach. And the guy was like, that's not even an option. But notice now, after a little bit of momentum generated, it becomes more of an option for Texas kids.
SMU suddenly an option for very good players from the Lone Star State. Shot clock down to 5. Crawford took a glance at it. Cunningham's jumper is on target. Long three-pointer with a shot clock winding down.
There's been a lot of life in Cunningham. little competitive spirit, trying to get to the rack, making shots, making plays.
Well, how about this, an 8-0 run for Memphis?
Yeah, he had that ill-advised foray into multiple defenders, but I admire his willingness to make plays and mix it up.
Again, Kennedy remains on the bench, which is interesting. About 5 minutes into the second half, Herrera, tough catch there and fouled on the shape. And Larry Brown thought he played a lot of minutes, hard minutes, very productive minutes in the first half.
12 minutes. I'm telling, this is why I'd have a hard time coaching, because he dominated the first half, and whether I had a minutes or a rotation I'd want to work out, I'd want him in the ball game right now.
I think SMU fans might agree. 9 from Herrera. He's carrying some extra weight. 42-31. So we'll see when Kennedy does appear. 14:40 left. Hawkins, nice move underneath for 2. He went strong.
Yeah, terrific job, because again, they are trying to work that side of the floor with Austin Nichols. Herrera is taking him away. So make some aggressive plays to try to draw Austin Nichols, and if he doesn't come over and help, you've got an easy opportunity.
Or slashing into the paint, long jumper Frazier off the back iron. Now Memphis has all the momentum, and they have quieted the building. Crawford swings up top here for Cunningham. Nichols setting a screen for him. Let's see if they get Nichols a touch. Just under 14 minutes to go. Shaq Goodwin's been out of the game too.
This is taking too long to develop.
Shot clock at 12. A bounce here for Godfrey. Wants to pull his way in. The spin blocked. Herrera got his right hand on it. On the run, here's Manuel, and he left it short on the layup. Just too much spin off the fingertips. Underneath Godfrey, blocked from behind. The foul will be on. Free will be at the line to shoot 2. Foul was on Moore, his first. Kennedy at the scorer's table, ready to get in the game finally. And Godfrey can't hit it. And here comes Marcus Kennedy, the unquestioned star of the first half for the Mustangs. Ben Moore will step out. Godfrey, 6'8" senior from Milwaukee. A transfer from Southern. One of about half a dozen transfers from Memphis.
That's an issue in college basketball. I mean, the number of transfers in college basketball right now is truly extraordinary.
Off target by Moore. So Memphis has found an opening, slicing and cutting him. Another block from Herrera. On the outlet, Manuel with a difficult catch and made a wise decision to set up a play here.
You should go through Marcus Kennedy. If you're Nick Moore, make sure you're calling a play that allows the big man to get a touch here.
Herrera up top. Frazier thought about it. Now to Kennedy. Wants another touch. Seems like every time he does touch it, he gets 2. Really, they have not had a way to stop him all night.
No. That Shaq Goodwin is now up and off the bench, and you got to believe he is going to go ahead and try to deal with Marcus Kennedy. Got Shaq up and off the bench.
Crawford, good foul shooter at 80%. And here comes Shaq, the big junior from Atlanta. Markel Crawford, local kid from Memphis. Out of Melrose High School there in Memphis.
Well, I'll tell you this, we talked about Larry Brown recruiting Texas. A lot of ball players coming out of Memphis.
This one has tightened up, an 8-point game in Dallas.
This is the horn series that everybody seems to run in college basketball, both men and women.
Moore swings it for Frazier. And a whistle with 12:15 to go before the shot. Put it in from the baseline. SMU been very tough here at home. Played a lot of home games. They're 9-1 already at home. Frazier slicing in, but it's not there for him. Goodwin went for the tip. It came to Kennedy.
Goodwin went for the tip because he had a layup if he could have completed the play, but at this point you want the possessions.
Kennedy, nice feed. Herrera will draw the foul.
go out in this frigid weather.
You watch multiple games, and you can go all the way through the top 25 on certain days. It's great stuff. 44-36 SMU. I used to do that as a kid. Just sit there and watch 2, 3, 4 college basketball games in a row. Never leave the room. My mother would be livid with me.
It was appointment viewing back then because there weren't the wealth of games on. At least in my age bracket. You might be a little bit younger than me.
Yeah, right. Rounded out by Morera. So under 12. We'll see if Memphis has another run. They've established some good momentum here in the second half. Crawford chased by Kennedy. Here's Nichols up high. Kennedy on him. Nichols right by him. Off the window and a sweet shot.
Yeah, that's the value. You know, Morera goes off of him. Marcus Kennedy is forced to guard at 16 feet, and you can see what Austin Nichols has in his face-up game.
Morera free underneath for 2 as he sprung free for an easy deuce. 47-38.
Morera just staying between Nichols and the ball. Just using his speed and his length to sit down in front. He is working so hard, Morera.
So is Nichols, by the way. Those two have been bleeding all over each other all night. Shot clock to 10 for Memphis. Crawford using a screen. Shot clock to 5. Nichols has to get the shot in the air. In and out. Rebounded away, and a great play underneath by Chris Hawkins, who's really given them some life.
And I'll tell you, between Hawkins and Cunningham, those two Memphis players are competing. They are aggressive, making plays, hitting the glass, trying to get in the lane.
Boy, Memphis was a couple of more SMU baskets from maybe losing any chance to be in this game. Now they're very much alive. Frazier follows his own miss and drops it in. 9-point lead for the Mustangs.
Just feels like Memphis makes that push, and somehow, whether it's on an offensive rebound or a quick transition, the SMU scoring too easily.
They were down 18, however, and a chance inside 10 to creep a little bit closer. The pass underneath Godfrey, and he'll connect for 2. 49-42. Kennedy with the catch and the easy 2.
You see what I mean? It's as soon as Memphis looks like they're getting this thing tight, it's a quick rim run, offensive putback, and look at Kennedy. I think he's got more points than he does minutes at this point.
I think you're right. I think well over. Godfrey wants to shoot immediately, but can't drain it. Nick Moore on the attack. Nifty bounce speed and 1. And Frazier connects there. So the lead suddenly back up to 12. That didn't take very long.
So Nick Moore is just 1 of 6, but to me he hasn't gotten outside of himself. Right? Not a great shooting night, so make sure you're distributing the basketball.
Cunningham and a kickball with 8:59 to go.
They physically have not seemed to be able to match him when he's been able to get it inside of that painted area. He's been great.
Well, he keeps playing like this. A lot of teams in this conference will not be able to. Manuel fouled. We certainly wish him the best. He will not coach the team on the sideline again this year. He will not be in the arena when they play. He will watch on TV. He's going to prep the team. He's going to be there for practices, for some of the practice, and then head home. A scramble for it, loose on the deck. SMU comes away with it.
And you know that's killing Mick, because that's a coach's coach. Remember his father, a legendary high school coach.
Moore swings it, tough catch for Manuel. 8:27 to go. SMU opening it up again to a dozen-point lead. Ben Moore. Pass tipped out. Meligu in the lane. And fouled. He's hit on the shot. So Meligu drops in the first. He's a 91% foul shooter. Hawkins coming back on. Pastner, I think, likes the minutes he's getting from him tonight. From the junior college transfer. But the lead back up to 56-42 for the Mustangs. Powell swings the pass down the lane. Godfrey went for the dunk and fouled on the play. Godfrey to shoot. Very well-traveled senior out of Milwaukee. A transfer from Southern. Also played junior college ball and at Iowa State. So he's been around a bit.
So what do you think, especially as it relates to transfers and those graduate students who can become eligible immediately? Is that a rule you like or don't like?
You know, I kind of like it for this reason. I've seen a lot of those kids who didn't get a lot of minutes their senior year. For whatever reason, they hung in there with that school and that coach.
Yeah.
I think it's a chance for them to play a little bit more at the end of their career.
And why would you punish them, right? They've acquired their undergraduate degree.
And they have the eligibility left.
Correct, and have some eligibility left.
I've heard Dickie.
You've seen the commercial with him where the guy says, Desmond, did you win a Heisman? He goes, yeah, you know, I did win the Heisman. He gets all of them. It's classic.
Moore with the first with 7:50 to go, 57-44. And with Memphis, the question is, do they have enough shooters, enough guys who can put the ball in the basket to inch closer and overtake SMU on a night like tonight?
Yeah, we talked about this on a number of college games. I think in college basketball and in the NBA, you have to have enough range shooting to win games. It's become such a point of emphasis.
Goodwin has it tapped away. And again, he's had another of those pretty quiet nights where the Tigers need him to be noisy. They also need this guy to get a little bit noisy, and Nichols does.
But just so confident, so assertive.
He has 8 points. He's 4 out of 9 shooting, so he's taken some shots, but you just get the lingering feeling more should go through Austin Nichols.
No question. We've documented they have been unable to deliver the ball, and there's the power game of Marcus Kennedy. He goes right into the chest of Nichols, takes away the shot blocking ability.
So 19 for Kennedy. Seemingly he can hit any shot he wants. Woodson bouncing for Nichols. They double up on him. Tried to put it to the deck, and he's fouled there. Answer for him. Manuel with his 4th foul. Nichols got the shot up, but off target.
And Dave, the one shot that wasn't in the paint was that nice mid-range when he created a little separation from Austin Nichols in that first half.
Moore tried to squeak that pass inside. It's only his 2nd turnover. And you know Larry Brown loves his point guards to keep the ball in possession and is very demanding in that regard. Will he get an assist here? Well, a foul.
An easy opportunity.
Ben Amelagu at the line, 91%. He drills the first one. Memphis will bring back on Markel Crawford. He's played significant minutes tonight. His minutes have kind of bounced around and started to actually go down pretty dramatically, but Pastner's used them a lot more tonight.
I think you've seen that at multiple positions, right? You've tried multiple players at the point guard spot. Keegan Johnson got the early start and early look, and he was ineffective, and now you've settled on Powell.
Hawkins deep in the corner. Powell. Nichols came out. He's at the line, and he's hit and fouled. He makes 62%. You watch Nichols, we get a chance to see him because you and I cover this conference so much. One of the things that really jumps out at you is his effectiveness with both hands.
Yes. He's going to get better from the free throw line than he has to because you'd like to see him 75%, right? He's got good touch. You look at his form, to me he should be better. But Dave, I'll tell you, either hand, he can use the dribble to create shots. He's going to get stronger. His body's going to continue to fill out. I mean, think about how good he could be.
Frazier calling for some help. 5:50 left. 61-47 Mustangs, and a whistle off the ball. Nichols.
By that call.
I think everybody in the state of Michigan. 62-47.
You know, we have seen, and you and I have debated this before, like a couple of times tonight on the catch on the perimeter, and the driver goes, and there's a quick hand that impedes or even just influences that ball handler a little bit. We've seen that whistle. Do you like that rule change?
Well, I have. I've liked kind of basketball, getting back to basketball instead of football. You know, there was too much being let go,
right, I
thought, and the fluid nature of the game was being ruined.
No question, yeah.
5.5 remaining. More importantly, how do you like it?
I like it. I do feel at times it's been extreme, but I almost think you have to go in that direction, Dave, in order to make the correction and have it stick in the players' minds.
Kicked out of play with 5:15 left.
How little, I want to say, defense was played. I mean, there was virtually no physicality.
It's when that physicality becomes something else. More of the stuff and the
car.
With the towel going, 3-point play for Benmore off the assist from Nick. Largest lead was 18. Memphis had cut it down to 7. Now back up to 18. Stolen away by Powell. Here's Crawford to finish. 65-49. A victory tonight for SMU makes them 11-4. Would drop Memphis to 8-6. And you might hear some more howling coming out of Memphis about the Tigers. Nick Moore straight on, drains the jumper at 2.
Set up. They let him go off the screen because he's a quick decision maker.
A 6.7 assists. He's had a strong game. Nobody's had a stronger game than Marcus Kennedy. 6'9" junior. Hawkins not there. Nichols with a rebound, right back up. 6 o'clock on Saturday is not going to be a runaway by either team.
No.
That's going to come down maybe to the last couple of shots.
We're certainly hoping so.
Yes, that's why we're going to South Bend. I can't wait for that one. We approach the 4-minute mark here in Dallas. SMU in control. Kennedy with a rare miss. Marrero with the rebound and kicks it back out. Only the third shot that Kennedy has missed in this game. He has been outstanding. Manuel asking for help now. Here's Frazier. Running off some time. The SMU Mustangs trying to put the hammer down on Memphis inside the American Athletic Conference tonight. Manuel tipped out into the backcourt, and that's going to be a shot clock violation. Big part of the story tonight. We've talked all evening about Marcus Kennedy, 19 points, but Moore has 7 assists. That ties the season high. Woodson with a catch and fire and drains the 3. Very good out there, where he hits 41%.
Got to come with some pressure. And trying to make some plays here with traps and steals.
Manuel Frazier over the top, catch by Kennedy off the fake. 2 more. He has 21. They shredded that pressure. That ties Kennedy's career high to 21. 10 for 13.
Very much looking like that first-team American Conference performer everyone expected.
And tonight he looks like a first-team All-American. And the junior from Philadelphia has put on a fine show. Cunningham, too strong.
I got to say, though, I think Memphis has helped in that area. Their defense on the interior, something that they came in hanging their hat on, has been porous at times.
Larry Brown angry and a little agitated over there for a 74-year-old man who didn't feel well around noontime today. He looks pretty spry.
I hope we have it, because to show that, you're right. He has got a 15-point lead, and he's over there coaching his backside.
Coaching like a 35-year-old. Herrera trying to get the shot up there. He did in front of the shot clock, but it didn't go. Under 2 minutes remaining. And a healthy lead for SMU in a very, very tough place for an opponent to win. And the Tigers look like they are about to go to 9-1. I should say 10-1 here then. They'd be 10-1 here at home if they pick up this victory, and they're closing in on it. Back out for Moore.
The absence of Kennedy, you know, you think about the loss at Indiana, 74-68. The loss against Arkansas, 78-72. You have Marcus Kennedy.
Yep.
What are the outcomes of those games for SMU?
They're a team that they are probably going to look very dangerous come March as Hawkins.
And welcome to the family, Shane Battier. An easy win against Wake Forest. And I like how those freshmen comport themselves. They do not seem to be fazed by anything. But it was Quinn Cook down the stretch who was terrific from Mike Krzyzewski in that tight ball game.
Nick Moore with another one to come. Sterling Brown back on the floor. Manuel goes to the bench for Larry Brown. Nick Moore, an outstanding foul shooter. 92% leads the American Athletic Conference in that category, and he makes them both. 73-57. So SMU will win this one tonight and improve to 11-4. But serving notice as Cunningham launches and misses. And it's saved right back to Moore. Serving notice that their big guy, Marcus Kennedy, is starting to get his feet underneath him and his legs underneath him. And that's bad news for the rest of the conference.
Yeah, no question about it. Because you get typically terrific scoring from Nick Moore. He's obviously a setup guy as well. I thought Morera showed an awful lot. Ben Moore, a good night. You've got the perimeter shooting of Frazier.
Well, a theft by Powell. He'll lay it up and in with 20.7 to go. Inbounded for Nick Moore. Final seconds here from SMU. The Mustangs will pull out the victory and knock off Memphis. The Tigers will fall to 8-6. And SMU now 11-4 behind Marcus Kennedy with 3.2 seconds. We've got college basketball live with Adnan Burke and Shane Battier just around the corner. Pitch updated on all of the night's activities. A long heave by Woodson won't fall.